Okay, so I did a 3DS video some time ago, I think about a year or two ago, just sort of demonstrating the things you can do on it. Now, obviously, I've got most of my games just ripped to the 3DS via a micro SD card, and I thought I'd just go through the games that I've currently got on it. 3DS is it's becoming a very, if not one of the best handhelds out there now. Prices have gone through the roof. Well, this one wasn't too expensive, but the new 3DS that can play certain games that this one can't, that has really gone through. I've had a couple of iterations of like 3DSs. I've had a new 3DS before, so I thought I'd just go through the game collection I've got, and everything I've got backed up on here, I own legally, so it's not downloaded from the internet. Although I know people do, you know, it's a very sought after system, to be honest. Given how much some of the prices of some of these games, particularly Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which I don't have, it's mostly Pokemon, Zelda, and Nintendo stuff. So I'll go through it anyway with you. There's some good stuff on 3DS, and putting aside the Pokemon stuff, the library isn't that expensive. There are certain games, but there are also a lot of stuff that's quite well priced, like £15 to £18 each, just depending on what you're looking for. And there's a lot to the library, but obviously your Pokemon games, for instance, they are getting up there in price now. But we'll go through them when we get to that stuff anyway. So first one, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I adore this game. It's the first ever Zelda game I ever actually played. Obviously, N64, which is oh hello there. As you can see, my box is totaled, sadly. But yeah. I don't know if these came with manuals. This mine didn't on this particular one. This was I think this was an eBay one I got. But I've yet to even play it, to be honest with you. I've not even I've not really played much at all on this as of yet. It's more sort of just having the time, but it's excellent, well recommended. Not an expensive game at all. Next one is another Zelda. I don't know why, because I'm not actually that keen on these games. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't like the control systems on these games, and this is a different case because the case I had got damaged, so I just I swapped it out with I think it was Brain Training. But I want to get into this at some point. It's an interesting one. It really is. It looks quite cool. But these ones are a little bit more expensive. I think these are about 20 to £30 now, I believe, something like that. And the problem with the controls, well, it's not a problem, I suppose, but the annoyance is that the control system, you have to play the game completely with the stylus, which it's not the worst, but certainly I'd much rather use the analog or the D-pad. But it's an interesting game, and it's actually a straight follow-on from Wind Waker, which is one of my, putting aside, apart from Ocarina and the more modern stuff, it's probably my favourite Zelda. I did at one point really adored Twilight Princess, but the more I played it, I was like, I don't know if I like this as much as I thought I did. Just because of how dark the game is in times, but I haven't played through all yet, so at some point I might do some content. But I am currently running through Metal Gear Solid 1, and I'm stuck on the Ocelot bit, which is slightly embarrassing because I cleared it about 20 years ago a couple of times as a teenager, but I'm hammering that circle button on my PS5 pad, and it just ain't going my way. So, but I will beat it. Sheer grit and determination and pure anger if I have to. Okay, so next one up, Spirit Tracks. I don't know if I did get some CX. I don't think I did. But let's. In fact, I can probably find out what I paid for a lot of these. Okay, so the 3DS, which I bought approximately 2 years ago, set me back £128, which isn't cheap, but it's not the most ridiculous price, I would say. That's where the Sega Saturn collecting comes in at some point. So Phantom Hourglass on eBay, that came in at £19.70. So that's not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Luigi's Mansion. This is another one. I've got the second one, and this is actually this has been remade, I believe. Yeah, this is ported to Switch, which I wouldn't mind trying at some point because it'd be kind of cool to play it on the big TV. So yeah, so that is one that again, I don't know if it originally came with a manual, but my copy didn't. But again, £14.50 for that. It ain't that bad. And taking into account this was like 2 years ago. This was April 11th, 2023. So not bad. I'm beginning to think I might have got that from CEX, given the fact I've got a CEX sticker on it. So it is. In fact, I think it was. It might have been an online thing. I had numerous problems, as I said in a different video, for CX, and the issues I had trying to get the right game, which was an absolute nightmare at times. I did get another one from CX as well, which was another Zelda. I'm basically trying to collect as many of the Zeldas as I can. This is kind of like a spiritual successor to Link to the Past, which I've got a copy of on Game Boy Advance, I believe. Yeah, which is basically a part of the Super Nintendo game. But it's another really, really interesting Zelda game. Zelda is becoming one of those franchises I want to collect for. Still need to get my hands on Skyward Sword at some point. Whether that's the Wii version or the Switch version, I'd probably say the Switch version is going to be the obviously the more accessible version by today's standards. But obviously the Wii version is going to be a lot cheaper. Ocarina of Time, that came in at £12.75. So that's not really that bad in the grand scheme of things. Now we get on to the Pokemon games. Okay, so first one up is Pokemon Pearl. This is the one I'm actually currently playing through. I kind of jumped off Pokemon, kind of left after about Gen 2. I did Gold and Silver, and then I didn't really play much. I played it emulated once, I think, in like 2003. On dial-up internet at the time, emulation and ROMs and stuff. But generally, like, so I didn't know anything about Gen 4. But yeah, it's pretty challenging. I couldn't find one of the gym leaders. She just seemed to have disappeared, but I managed to find her in the end, so I've been playing through that. That came in at £18.50. And again, this is the 16th of April, 2023. So that is now, you're probably talking £25 upwards now, I would say. Generally. Okay, so Pokemon Diamond. This was one that I got that didn't actually work properly at first. I had to clean the contacts on the cartridge. And again, I think I've got it on here somewhere. Yeah. Got it all backed up, but the contacts on this one weren't that great. Where's that? Oh, Animal Crossing, a game I've never played, although I've heard a lot of people rave about it. Yeah, so I wasn't that happy with when I got it off eBay, to be honest, because as I said, the contacts were all messed up on it. I have since, as you can see, it's a bit gnawed, as if a dog or a child's been chewing it or something. I managed to clean the contacts down and I managed to get it working again, so I've got it backed up. But yeah, but I'm playing for the Pearl version, so maybe one day I'll go for Diamond, but generally, I haven't had that much time for my gaming of late with stuff. And obviously, PC stuff. I'm having some issues with my PC at the moment, with which I will go on about maybe later on. Next one is Pokemon Y. I've never played these games. I've only ever played Black, I think, was the one I played. Obviously, completely 3D engine. This one came in at £27.93, which isn't that bad. But it's like your Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the ones that are going to be painful to collect for. Maybe at some point. I don't get all these beauty pageants in these games though, where you can make your Pokemon wear dresses. It's just fucking fucking weird. I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. I don't get it. But yeah, so but again, they're still quite challenging until you get to the Switch versions. Then the games just kind of become they're just a walkover. They're just too easy. But again, obviously I'm not really the target demographic for these types of games. And next one was X. And this one came in at £22.10. And I think the only ones other than Soul Silver, Heart Gold, Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 left basically to get hold of at some point is the ones I really don't like, which is your Pokemon Moon and Sun, Ultra Moon and Sun, which are the ones with no gyms. It's just it's like trials in fields, but they were just boring. I found them incredibly boring. That's why I've had rebought 3DSs in the past and then sold them because I got bored. I don't do that so much now, but at the time. But yeah, it looks kind of interesting. It's a 3DS game as such, so I will get to it at some point. But I've spent a fair whack on a lot of this stuff. But it's just getting around the time to actually play it. I tend to work a lot. So next on the list is and these ones are getting expensive. Barring the ones I've already said about Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Pokemon Black. This came in at £53.75 was it 18th of February 2024. As it's all, and I believe I think 3DS or is it DS one is region free. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that might be the case. But yeah, it's all in good nick. Manual. I will play at some point. God knows when. And then obviously I also got the other version, which was Pokemon White. And that one came in again, another one that's getting up there in price now. £53, and I bought that this year. I bought this year apparently. 53 quid. Interesting. Again, it's got a manual with it. I don't know what happened. Did they just stop making manuals with 3DS games, or was it just DS games? I'm not really sure. But again, another one looks kind of interesting. Interesting differences in the engine and stuff as well. But I've not, as of yet, played through it. Another one to play through at some point. But yeah, I spent quite a lot of money on this crap. And playing it probably would be a good idea at some point. But yeah, eBay is your friend. And then last but not least, of course, is where are we? Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. I'm currently playing through. Is it Ruby? The normal Ruby, just the cartridge, and for Game Boy Advance. So this is based on Gen 3. But I've played the demo once, but I haven't played enough of it really to sort of see what the differences are between this and the original Game Boy Advance version. But yeah, it's another one to look forward to playing at some point. But it's good. It's Gen 3 is quite a lot of fun. I like the starter types. And is it the Hoenn region? Is kind of an interesting place to sort of explore. So, but I have no idea what awaits me with this particular version, because I'm still making my way through ordinary Ruby, and I think I've just beaten a gym leader that's in a jungle or something to that degree, I believe. And then last but not least, well, it looks like a Mega Ruby might have been an eBay, it might have been a CEX buy, because I can't find it on eBay. But yeah, another one. As I said, just another version. I've noticed also there's not as many versions of, as in like a third version of these games. I believe Diamond and Pearl have got a, is it Platinum? I believe it is. That might be one version I don't have, but a case of whether I get hold of it or not, I don't know. I don't play enough of my 3DS to really warrant it at the moment, to be honest. Plus, I'm having some issues with my GPU at the moment. I've just bought and installed a 9070 XT, and sometimes when I'm watching stuff, not games but media, the audio keeps cutting out. So I don't know if I need to DDU all my drivers and reinstall them again, because I'm not sure. I was running an NVIDIA RTX 3060 Ti before, so I don't really know what's going on there exactly. But I'll just see what's going on, because it's a bit odd, to say the least. But I just want to demonstrate one of these games quickly. Man, the Zelda music's so good, even though... And of course, I still haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom either. Anyway, I'll leave it there. This has been my 3DS collection video, and I'll see you in the next one.